Hi students, welcome to English class. Today we are going to talk about past perfect tense. So here are the objectives. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to understand the use of past simple and past perfect, and you'll be able to transform the sentences from active to passive voice. To start with, we are going to see what actually past perfect tense is. This tense is used to demonstrate an action or to describe an action that occurred or happened before another action in the past. And it refers to that there are usually two completed actions in the sentence, but one happens before the other. Now, if you move on to this part, I had taken my lunch before I went outside. Now, see, it has two parts. I had taken my lunch and I went outside. Okay. Now, here you need to understand how you have to frame the sentence in past perfect tense when there are two actions taking place simultaneously. So the action which precedes the other or which is completed before the other action, for that you are going to use past perfect tense. Now, two actions took place. I went outside and I took my lunch. Now, before going outside, uh, I had taken my lunch. So the action which was completed before the other action, it would be described in past perfect tense. I had taken my lunch before I went outside. I cannot say I took my lunch before I had gone outside. That would be wrong to say. We have to understand which action took place before the other action, and that action would be described in past perfect tense. Here is another example. When he entered the room, the boss had arrived. Now, the arrival of the boss had taken place before the entrance of him. So, the boss had arrived. So, for that purpose, we are going to use past perfect tense, and for the other action, we'll use simple past tense. Third example, before they reached the airport, the flight had taken off. Now, two actions are taking place again. Now, the first action which was completed, the flight had taken off before they reached the airport. So, this is how we use past perfect tense when two actions are there. Two actions, they are taking place simultaneously in the situation. But if there is only single situation, we have no confusion. We'll just use the subject, helping verb had, and past participle or third form of the verb. She had finished the test. Now here only one action, and that is described in past perfect. So we have no confusion. And for negative sentence, subject plus you will have the addition of not. Okay. Had not or hadn't, and third form of the verb, she hadn't finished the test. And for interrogative or question, you are going to place the helping verb in the beginning. Had she finished the test? Helping verb, then the subject, and then the third form of the verb. Now, past perfect use. We use this tense when we are talking about an action that happened before another action in the past, and I have already given you the explanation. Here is another example. He had worked very hard before he finally won. Now see, again two actions are there. So the action which precedes the other or which takes place before the other action, that you are going to describe in past perfect. He had worked very hard before he finally won. This happened afterwards. First what happened? He had worked very hard and then he was able to win. So this is how we use past perfect tense. Now we'll see how we transform the sentences from active to passive voice. As already you know, what is active voice? When the subject performs an action, and what is passive voice? When an action is performed on the subject. Now the formula goes like this. He had written a letter. Now he is the subject, has is the helping verb, written is the main verb, and a letter is the object. Now when you change the voice, what happens? Four changes that take place. The subject becomes the object and the object becomes the subject. Now him will be changed into he will be changed into him. The subject will take the place of object, and the objective case of he is him. A letter will take the place of subject. Now, a letter had will be changed into had been. You will have the addition of one more helping verb, that is had been, and verb past participle will remain. As I have told earlier, perfect tenses, they always use third form of the verb. And here you have the addition of preposition by, and it would be followed by the subject. Which subject? Which was in the active voice, he, and now it would be changed into him. A letter had been written by him. Here I have few more examples. He had taken lunch. Now lunch had been taken by him. You had made a house. A house had been made by you. Now see, subject becomes the object and the object becomes the subject. Helping verb is placed before the main verb, and which helping verb we are using in passive voice? Had been. Okay. Past participle remains as past participle. Preposition by is placed before the object. She had cooked meal. It would be changed into meal had been cooked by her. They had not written a letter. A letter had not been written by them. Negative sentence. We had not read the book. The book had not been read by us. Affirmative sentence. Had I helped you? Interrogative sentence. Had you been helped by me? Okay. Had she made a picnic plan? Again, interrogative sentence. Had a picnic plan been made by her? Now see, for the question, the helping verb will remain as it is. We'll make all the other changes. Now see, here the subject is she, but here the subject would be a picnic plan, because now the object has become the subject. So this was all about how we transform past perfect tense from active to passive voice. Here is a quick recap. We use past perfect tense to describe a completed action, a completed task, or a completed situation in the past. We use subject with had and third form of the verb. Like she had finished the test, I had completed my task, my teacher had taught me tenses. Okay. In negative sentences, you just add up not after the helping verb. And interrogative sentences, had the helping verb is placed in the beginning and sentences change into into interrogative sentences. Now, formula from active to passive voice, same rules are applied over here as we have done in indefinite tenses, in continuous tenses, or in present perfect. Only you have to remember that you have to change according to the helping verb. Now, he had written a letter had been written. Now here you have the addition of been, but had remains as it is because we are talking about the past perfect tense. I had seen the picture. The picture had been seen by me. You had not watched the movie. The movie had not been watched by you. Had he spoiled the project? Had the project been spoiled by him? Now, it depends whether you are using it in affirmative sentence, negative sentence, or interrogative sentence. So, you are going to make the changes accordingly. Here, I have the example of affirmative sentence and it is changed accordingly. Okay. Hopefully, you would have understood what is past perfect tense and how do we change it from active to passive voice. Only you have to remember when there are two actions which are described in past perfect, the action which precedes the other or action which takes place before the other action, for that you are going to use past perfect, and for the other action which follows you'll use simple past tense. This was all about past perfect tense. Hopefully you would have understood. Thank you so much for listening.